Dallas on a sweep. Brings it up.
Hey, coaches. I wanted to talk about 3 plays that beat our cover 3 this year. We played a team that knocked us out of the playoffs. They ran 2 out of these 3 plays that beat us, and then we got beat by another play by 2 different teams. The 3 plays we got beat by were go out, okay, to the tight end side. I'll go over and I'll draw up these plays on here. 4 verts beat us 1 time. And then we had a pop pass beat us twice, actually. Okay, we got beat by pop pass for like 60-yard touchdown in the middle of the season, and then we got beat early on in our last game. This formation, okay, very difficult to defend. This is a formation we call ACE. We run this formation as well, although we do some different things out of it than what this team did. But we call it ACE. It's basically 11 personnel. They have 1 tight end, 1 running back, and three receivers. So we call this formation ACE. It's 11 personnel. They beat us with the go out. Okay, the first play I'm gonna draw up. These kids they literally just went vertical. Just went vertical to this side. This kid went vertical, really press vertical, forced our corner to bail out. He's basically just clearing out. Now here's where the problem was for us. Okay, it was 2nd and 2 or 2nd and 3. Okay, they were running a straight give to this tailback. They were I guess they were trying to zone block it. They weren't pulling any. I don't know what they were doing. They were doing big on big or just straight up base blocking. They weren't pulling or running any type of power game out of it. They were just handing to this kid and he was running. Okay, I mean, it worked because this kid, the tailback was a stud and their tight end was good too. But they would hand it here. So that would put our dog in conflict, okay? My dog's responsibility is contained to flat, okay? His run fit is contained most of the time. Okay, we have calls where that changes, but our base rules is contained to flat. So, when he has this back coming or play action right at him, he's forced to come up. Okay, so they're all playing into their run fits, especially it's a run down in distance. So I credit them for calling this play on a run down in distance. So it makes it very difficult to defend when you're actually playing a good play caller. So it was a good run down in distance. My kids are thinking run. Okay, our dog doesn't key his tight end like he's supposed to, but he, again, this kid's a stud. They're running the ball down their throat a little bit. So you know what? He's coming up for run. So he comes up for run. Gets all these guys in the run fit, and by the time they realize it's pass, okay, he comes up and then he tries to get back to his flat or underneath this out. It's just too late. Okay, so the quarterback would do a nice quick little fake to the tailback. Tailback would execute a good fake. Okay, he'd plant and hit the out. Very difficult play to defend, especially our corners are off. Okay, so this vertical pressing the corner off. A good run fake is forcing my play side backers to get in their run fits. So great concept here. They beat us in the first half with this, and in my defense, that they didn't show this on film at all. So it was a shocker, but that's really no excuse. But it was just a great play call, great play design, great formation that really just a pain in the butt to defend. So second half adjustment was they beat us with the go out, and then they did beat us on a pop pass for like 20, 25 yards, maybe even 30. Can't remember, but it was a big game. So we got beat by the go out, and then we got beat by the pop pass. I'll go through the pop pass now, and then I'll go through our second half adjustment, which kind of stopped these plays. But first half they gutted us with them. Second half, we did a much better job. And again, we didn't really have the time to prepare or we didn't know they were going to do it. So, you have to be ready to adjust on the fly, and you have to have calls in your defense where you're able to, adjust to this kind of stuff. Because, it's hard to defend, It's hard to defend these kind of formations. But that was the go out. Tight end quick pop, another pain in the butt. And it was the same thing. Instead of him going out, he would go right down the seam. He'd go right up the hashes here. Again, it was like 3rd and 3 or something. It was a run down in distance again. They faked the run. They faked their give, which they love to run. Quarterback pulled the ball, point, and throw. And again, it caught these kids in their run fit. Okay, and it was actually a little bit of a delay. The tight end would act like he's going to block a little bit, base out our dog, and then he would release. So that really was served as a little bit of a key breaker for them. And it hurt us. So we got caught in our run fits, and they hit it right behind all our linebackers. And then this vertical by number 2 right up this seam here really backed our safety off. So, it forced our safety to really bail back. So that play hurt us. And again, in a little while, I will go through on how we stopped this in the second half. Now, on the pop pass too, okay, this kid just actually ran it now. So it really wasn't. He just acted like he was going to run a quick screen, and they just sent the slot down the middle. So, they did run a quick now screen to number 1 here, okay? And this number 2 receiver would go vertical. But let's go over 4 verts now. So that tight end quick pop was basically 3 verts, okay? You had 3 players going deep, but they were looking for the tight end, and tight end was going to kind of downshift and settle down wherever the hole in our zone was. So nice play concept, nice execution. So credit them. Now, then they would hit us with 4 verts, okay? This team didn't beat us with 4 verts. We got beat by 4 verts, I believe, earlier in the season. They hit the number 2 receiver here, kind of right in the seam. Now, when they send 4 deep, okay, and their spacing's good, you could see the spacings here. It's really thinning our cover 3. Okay, it's really stretching us. Okay, it's stretching us horizontally and it's stretching us vertically. Okay, you could see the great spacing here. There's no way you could cover all this with 3 deep. It just can't. It's very tough. So they did a good job. Okay, this kid would release, and then they kind of hit it right in the seam here when their tight end went vertical. Okay, it pushed our safety back, and he didn't really hit vertical. It was almost like a really deep dig. Okay, you kind of cut in a little bit, but it was 4 verts. He just ran around our dog, and then that. So in our cover 3, just draw it up for you, show you why 4 verts beats cover 3. And again, the team that ran this, okay, they ran it out of this exact formation, but they would run. This kid would cheat up. They would run QB ISO out of this. So once again, it was a run down in distance. I don't remember I'm pretty sure it was 2nd or 3rd and short. So it was a run down in distance, and my kids read run, okay. And then they went in their run fits, and then our dog too, because he has contained the flat. So our dog was coming off the edge to defend run. This kid had a free release right at the seam. So, it's putting these kids in conflict. You're running a run fake at them, and then you're hitting the pass behind them. It's really tough to defend. Quarterback would take 2 steps forward like he's going to run QB ISO. He would plant and then throw. Okay, this was somewhat of a quick throw because we're always anytime we have no tight end where it's okay, they have like a 2-man surface here, we're always blitzing off the edge. Usually 9 out of 10 times I'll send this Leo. So that's what we do there. Now, real quick, how we defend 4 verts, okay, or even this tight. Actually, you know what? While we're in 4 verticals, I'll show you how we defend that. Okay, defending 4 verts out of our cover 3. The number one thing to make sure you guys are doing is make sure the corners split the difference between 1 and 2. Okay. Now, when I say 1 and 2, this is 1, this is 2, this is 1, this is 2. Okay. Have to split the difference. So you always want to play a little more heavier on the vertical from number 2 because that's a shorter throw, easy throw for the quarterback. So if he does go vertical, okay, he's throwing to number 2, our cornerback could really drive on that ball and play the ball much easier. Okay. Now, if they want to try to hit the X, the outside vertical, okay, that's a much harder throw. a youth quarterback has to really drop a dime, okay, to be to really complete that. And then if he does throw it, our cornerback doesn't have a lot of distance to close, and we could squeeze him to the sideline. So we always cheat a little bit heavier on the vertical from number 2. So that's important. And then we also have a call where I'll call my dog, his name is Kenny, so I'll say, Kenny, I have a hand signal, and that will tell him he has to collision number 2. Okay, we want him to just kind of stalk him and then block him. Really engage with him, just block him from a clean release. Okay, we want to collision him, get physical with him, slow his release, throw off any timing, take away any quick slant or quick, I guess you could say quick pop or short vertical to number 2. Okay, so that's our one answer for it. And then, we split the difference, and then we hope we get some pressure. Okay, but we will always collision number 2. Say this kid was out. We do the same thing here. We'd have a hand signal for both my dogs, and they would know to collision number 2. Okay, so that's our base answer for it. Okay, a lot of times I'll try to collision here. And for the most part, we're able to collision because our dogs are pretty good athletes. Some of our better kids. So we're able to collision there. Another call on this, it will be our lock call. Okay, and lock means we're playing man-to-man. So our corners would play 3x2, 3 yards off, 2 yards inside leverage. I mean, you can press them. You can play catch man. You can play off man, however you want to do it. We had them off a little bit with inside leverage. We really want to wall off any inside releases. So our dog would have 2. Corners will lock up on the 1s. And we would actually have our rip break his stack, and he would line head up over the tight end. We elect to have our rip, our right stack backer, to cover the tight end in our lock call, which is man free. So we'll play man across the board with 1 free safety in the deep middle of the field. Because we could press him off the line, and he already has head up leverage, so he's able to defend the in and out. Whereas our dog has contain. Okay, so he has outside leverage. So if this tight end does some kind of drag, say they clear out here and they run a drag and some kind of roll out or waggle or boot pass or something, okay, the dog will be behind and never be able to catch him. So we'll go lock where we'll be locked on the 4 receivers. And if those 4 receivers go vertical, we have 4 covering them with a deep safety. So it's basically, 5 will be deep and they're only running 4. So that puts us in much better position to make a play and gets us in much better shape. Now, depending on the situation, okay, to defend 4 verts, we will have a press call. Okay, we call it press right. That will tell our dogs to line up head over the tight end, and our rip now becomes stacked over our dog. Okay, basically what this does not allow the tight end to release. Okay, we tell this kid to be physical with the tight end. We shock and shed. We do not let this tight end off the line. If it's a run play, we're shocking this kid and then shedding and making a play. Okay, he's going to have B. He's going to have C gap and run, and then we loop our backer. He's going to play contain to flat. So basically, instead of our dog having flat, our rip's going to have flat. Okay, so basically, a good jam here, being physical with this tight end, okay, it pretty much eliminates him for any kind of quick pop or go out. Okay, and then he's just going to come off the edge or contain. So that takes care of that. So we did our press call. The team we played, they didn't show that they ran the quick pop or they ran the go out, okay? But we do have a call because we knew the tight end quick pops are a pain. The go out passing concepts, one of the best concepts in football, very hard to defend. So bringing him up, having jammed this tight end allowed us to play strong against any kind of run to the tight end side because he's right up on the line, holding his ground. And it also allowed us to eliminate the tight end from the pass, okay? So that was our second half adjustment. We completely shut it down, but not after it gutted us the whole first half. So we went to this, and then we just took away the tight end, and then allowed us to match their strength, their run strength. So it was a win-win as far as defending run and pass. So that's how we defended the go out, and that's how we defended the tight end quick pop. So that took care of that. Now, depending on the down and distance, depending on the situation, we will go 2 safeties. We will always take our dog away from the passing strength, okay, and make him a safety. Unless he's a boundary, okay? We'll take say the ball's on his left hash, we'll take our left dog, make him a safety, our free safety will bump over. Okay, so it's getting into a cover 4 look. So our safety would bump over here. Now, like I said, the boundary side dog will be the second safety. But if the ball's in the middle of the field, okay, the dog away from the passing strength will go be the safety. I'll make that call. I'll tell which one of my dogs I want to be safety. It does vary depending on game plan or, you know, matching athletes, whatever you want to do. But yeah, I make that call. I don't make the kids recognize that and adjust. I'll make that call. Then we'll expand our rip out. We'll break our stack here to the right. Okay. Now, we'll still have our dog collision. I'll tell this kid, I'll give him a hand signal. We'll collision number 2 and we'll stay in the flat. I think it's very important that you always have a defender in the flat. Okay. So if they do run verticals, okay, we're going to collision him. We can match 2 verticals on this side with the corner and the safety. If they run 2 verticals to the left, we can match 2 verticals with our dog who's playing safety and our corner here. And then we have two defenders underneath, okay? And then we have the wide side flat covered. And we do have the boundary hook the flat covered, or curl the flat, I should say. Okay, so if this kid, say they run deep, they swing this kid out, we have our dog out here, could jump that. So, you know, this is what we like to go to when it's a long down and distance. We play our cover 4. Okay, so we'll always put someone in the wide side flat in that situation. So, you know, this is how we defend 4 verts. Okay, if it's a long down and distance or depending on our game plan, we will go 4 deep. But most of the time it's a long down and distance because you know what? When you got 4 deep, you have a really weak box. They have great numbers to run here. But when they have to pass, the run isn't as much as a concern. But yeah, you know, how we defend the go out and the tight end quick pop. We'll jam them. We'll put our dog, or you could put your DN, have him cheat over, have him line head up on that tight end, and don't let him release. Be really physical, jam the kid. That'll take away any kind of inside, outside, or vertical route from the tight end. And then it could allow you to stay in your zone or your man-to-man. Now, to defend 4 verticals, you could play man across the board. So when the receivers when the receivers release vertical, you know, you have your defenders matching them. Or you could play cover 4 where you have 4 deep. So when they send 4, you have 4 deep. So you're matching numbers. So you're good there. But yeah, those were the 3 plays to go out, 4 verts, and tight end pop pass that gave us some trouble. I will say I absolutely love this formation. You know, it has a run threat to the left, it has a passing threat to the right. I mean, you could implement a lot of different motions here. I mean, if you got a mobile quarterback, it makes it even more difficult to defend. So we do run this formation. We'll run some of our jet stuff, some of our buck sweep and stuff out of this. But man, after getting beat by this formation and the alignment conflicts it created for my defense, you know, I'm a big fan. This is by far one of the most difficult formations for us to defend.